everyone, I am Harsh. In the last video we learned how to use MVVM toolkits. In today's video I will explain how I have created this UI and the binding part of this UI, and also we'll learn how to set the data context from the UI. In next video I will explain CUD operation. Without wasting the time, let's get started. Let me first explain how I have created this UI. In the main UI I have added this hamburger menu which come from Mayhem Metro. So if you don't know how to use Mayhem Metro, you can watch my Mayhem Metro video. You can find the link in the description. Here I have added this namespace for Mayhem Metro, and using this namespace I am using hamburger menu, and I set the display mode as compact inline. So if you click it here, it will expand, and if you click it here, it will collapse here by showing only the icon, and we can see the content at the right side. Otherwise, if we use compact overlay, then the content will go inside our hamburger menu and we will not able to see it. And I have set the pen background with this color and selected index as 0, means this first item. This I will show you later. Let's see the item template. So here we have two items with text and this image. So how I have added here, I have created the data template of type hamburger menu glyph item. Inside the dock panel I have added the grid with name icon part, and here I have set the width and binding it with the hamburger menu item compact pen length, and I have docked it to left. And then inside this I have added one text block which will show this image. That's why I have binded this text property with clip. And then one more text block I have added, which is text part, which is this one, dashboard and employee, and I have binded it with label. For now I will comment it, I will not explain this. Then we close this item template. Let's collapse it. Now let's see the item source, how I have binded. I used hamburger menu.item source. Inside that I set the hamburger menu item collection. I set the label to dashboard. This is the code for glyph for this icon, and then tag which is dashboard, will explain you later, and then the content which we can see here. What I have done for the hamburger menu content, I have added one content control, and then I have binded the content with current view. So now let's see the binding part. Go to the main window view model, and inside the constructor I called one method show view with the dashboard parameter. When you run the application, it will first show the dashboard page, which is this page. Then this is the current view which I have binded to the content. I am using observable property which come from the MVVM toolkits, and here we should take care of this naming convention. I make it as object type so that we can assign any object. And then I have created the dictionary with the view name and object as lazy. As a key I am providing the view name, and then I am creating the object of view model. This is our command where I have added the attribute relay command which I have binded in the click event of our menu that I will show now. First let's see the implementation. So here I am trying to get this view model from this dictionary and then assign to the current view. So here you might have one question. I am assigning the view model to the current view, so how the view is visible? Let's go to the main window and then see this. Inside the resource I have added the data template of type dashboard view model. If type is dashboard view model, then show the view as dashboard view. In the same way for the employee view model, it will show the employee view. Whenever this view model will come, then this view will show. As we are using the data template for the view model to show the respective view, so we no need to set the data context from the code behind. Let's see dashboard view and go to view code. You can see data context is not set from the code behind. We can see for employee view as well. Here also I am not setting the data context from the code behind. This is how view will show in our window. Now let's see how I have binded this command. Let's go to the view, and in the hamburger menu I have added this interaction trigger. Let's expand it. From where I got this interaction, for that you have to add the namespace schemas.microsoft.com/xml/behaviors. Using this namespace we can get this interaction. From the interaction we can add the trigger. We will add the event trigger. We'll set the event name which is item invoked, means when we click on it, so this item invoked event will execute. So to bind that event, we have to use this event trigger, and then using the invoke command action, we will bind the command. You can see show view command, but if you observe here, I have added only show view. So how it binded to show view command? As I have used relay command attribute for this view, so MVVM toolkit will generate the show view command using this attribute for this method. And then I am passing command parameter as the selected item text of main hamburger menu, which is the name of this element, and this tag you can see here in the hamburger menu glyph item. I have added this tag dashboard employee, so it will set the command parameter with that tag, and then we will get this tag here. Using this tag we can find the view model and we can assign to the current view so that it will bind to the view and it will show the view. I hope you understand this main window view and view models. Let's go to the dashboard page. Here I have used the live chat code.skysharpview.wpf. So you have to install this package. You can install it from NuGet package. I have already installed it. You can see it here. This is the package, and when you install it, it will also install this skysharp.view.wpf. Once installation is done, then add this namespace here in the dashboard view, which is nothing but our user control, and here I have added one scroll viewer and then uniform grid and then column 2. That's why you can see only 2 columns here. And then inside the group box I have added the pie chart. If you see, I set the header with gender distribution, which will show here as a header of the group box like that. Other will also show. And pie chart I have binded the series with gender series. In the same way, we have multiple series and we binded respective series to respective pie chart. Now let's go to the view model and let's see how I have added it. So first I have created the property of type iSeries array. So here I have added gender series, country series, company series and experience series. And then here I have created one observable collection of type employee where I will assign the value from the file. For that I have created one method load employee. So I have one file which contain 100k record of employee. I read the file and deserialize it to observable collection of type employee. This file I have added to our project, and then you have to change the property of this file. You can see I set the build action as type content and copy to output directory as copy always, or you can set copy if newer. So these two property you have to set, then only you will able to load this file. So now we have this collection. From the collection, what I will do here, I will group by the gender, and then I will create the pie series of type int, and there we will set the name and the value, which you can see here. This is the name and this is the value. You can see in every pie chart, this is the name and this is the value. In the same way we can do for country, group by country, and then from the country we will take that group by value, we will take the key and the value and set to our pie series object property name and values respectively, and then we have to cast it to iSeries, and then we will use two arrays so that it will be directly assigned to our array of iSeries. So this is how we can do for every series, and then when we run we can see our value. You see here the company name and the count of employee, which I am giving here. This is the key, which is nothing but the company name, and this is the value, like for this company we have this many employees. So this is about dashboard. Let's move to the employee view. Here I have added grid with column 3, and then we have top bar where I have added the button. If we go to employee menu, we can see button, combo box, text box, and then search, and then this is the data grid that we can see in the UI. This is the button. I have not added the command. We will add it in the next video. Then the combo box, text box, and then button, which we can see it here. And then data grid, I set the item source to employees. So this employees data will come from the same file, and then I have set alteration count to employees count. Why I set the alteration count, I will show you. Then I set auto generates column to false. So if you see, we don't have any new column. And then if you see can user add row, I set it to false. So we will not get any extra row here. Otherwise we will get the empty row. And I set margin to 10. Now it's time to add the columns. I added columns, data grid columns, by using data grid text column tag, and then binding the value of this column by the data grid row of type alteration index. If you don't add this, then this alteration index will come 0 for all the row. Let's see it. I will show you. Let's reload. You can see every row has only 0 value. That's why we need to add it, this one, so that it will show the index of the row. Save it, reload it. This is how we can show the index of our employee data in the data grid. And then it is simple thing like data grid text column, header is name and binding with name, email, gender, company, role, country, experience respectively from our item source, which is employees. And then I have added two button, which is edit and delete. And how I have added it, we have to use data grid template column, and then here we have to add the cell template, and inside the cell template we will add data template. In the data template we will specify the control, which is button control. I have added two button control, one for edit, one for delete, and this I have not added it in view model. We will see it later. So this is all about the data grid. Now let's go to the pagination part. I have added the stack panel. Inside the stack panel I have added two button, first and previous. You can see it here, first and previous. Then I have added the text block, which is nothing but the current page. It will show the current page here. This I have not binded it. Then again two button, which is next and last. You can see it here. And then we have the combo box for page size selection. Here we can select how many data should be visible in the current page. So this is all about our employee view. Let's go to employee view model. I have added some property, column name, selected column, page size, selected page size. This I have binded here. That's why we can see the value here, the name, company, email, gender, like that, and here the page size, which I have defined in the view model. And you can see selected page is 10. So if you run the application first time, it will be 10. And then you can see the load employee, same thing I have done in the dashboard. This we will make it singleton so that we have to load only once and we can use both places. So I hope you learn how to create the pie chart, how to bind the pie chart, and how I have created this UI and this menu. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, let's share with your friends.